Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today we're going to dive into the world of XRP and specifically our price predictions for XRP in 2025. Now, as we get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, make sure you do subscribe, tap the bell and select all notifications and you will not miss another XRP update or price prediction. Right, before we actually get into the price predictions for XRP, let's first discuss both what XRP and Ripple are and clear up a few common mistakes. So let's start with what is Ripple. Ripple is a software company that offers a payment settlement system and currency exchange network that can process transactions around the world. The idea is that Ripple serves as a trusted agent in between two parties in a transaction, as the network can quickly confirm that the exchange went through properly. Ripple can facilitate exchanges for a variety of fiat currencies, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, and even commodities like gold. So what about XRP? Well, XRP is a cryptocurrency that runs on the XRP ledger, a blockchain engineered by 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘 and 𝗕𝗙𝗪𝗏𝗏, and of course, David Schwartz. So 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗏 and 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏 would go on to found Ripple and use XRP to facilitate transactions on the network. You can buy XRP as an investment, as a coin to exchange for other cryptocurrencies, or as a way to finance transactions on the Ripple network. Notably, XRP's blockchain operates a little bit differently than most other cryptocurrencies. Other cryptocurrencies open their transaction ledgers and verification processes to anyone who can solve complex equations quickly. But transactions are secure, as the majority of ledger holders must agree with the verification for them to be added. Instead, XRP's Ripple network, or XRP's ledger, somewhat centralizes things. While anyone can download its validation software, it maintains what it calls unique node lists that users can select to verify their transactions based on which participants they think are least likely to defraud them. Its default list currently contains 35 trusted validators, and Ripple decides which validators to approve for this list and also makes up 6 of these validation nodes. However, users can opt out of this default list and hypothetically remove Ripple-backed validators from their transactions entirely, instead constructing their own list of trusted validators. This would allow the network to continue to approve transactions even without Ripple, the company, remaining involved, or even to continue to exist. As new transactions come in, the validators update their ledgers every 3 to 5 seconds and make sure that they match with other ledgers. If there is a mismatch, they could stop to figure out what went wrong. And this basically allows Ripple to securely and effectively and efficiently validate transactions, which gives it an edge over other cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and other proof of work consensus mechanisms. So now we have an understanding as to what Ripple are. They're a company, a software company, and we obviously now know what XRP is. Let's jump down to the desktop and take a look at some data for XRP specifically. So we're going to start off with a little bit on coin market cap here, because it's important that when you're talking about price prediction, that we also include in this particular piece of analysis some interesting data points, such as circulating supply, maximum supply, total supply, etc. Now, obviously, with every transaction that does go through on the ledger, a small amount of XRP is burnt. So it's actually deflationary rather than inflationary. It's always something that we should note. And it's an interesting point with many cryptocurrencies. Are they inflationary? Are they deflationary? In the case of XRP, it's deflationary. And which is why you see a slight difference between the maximum supply and the total supply, right? So the maximum is 100 billion tokens, but the total supply is actually now 99.99 billion, right? Because we've burnt some XRP. Now, the current circulation of XRP is 46.4 billion. And we can see that just over here, right? We can see that. Now, what's interesting about this is obviously Ripple, the company, does own and hold a significant portion of XRP. It's under escrow, it's in a smart contract, and every month gets, I think it's 3 billion gets released over to Ripple for them to potentially sell. Now, there's lots of speculation as to whether or not the current lawsuit between the SEC and Ripple is all to do with that escrowed XRP and trying to get the government trying to get their hands on it, or whether it's going to be burned, all that kind of stuff, right? But ultimately, what you actually find is Ripple are being very good about that XRP holding, because what you've tend to find, and if you look back over the last few reports that have come from Ripple, is they might have 3 billion released to them. They are actually putting back pretty much 2/3 of it, if not more, back into escrow and locking it up again. So they're only really taking out and utilizing what they need. They are not needlessly dropping it on the market. So again, although it is being locked up, it is quite heavily centralized with Ripple. It is, of course, being managed properly. It is not just being dumped on the market, and that would absolutely destroy any kind of price expectations that we may think about or talk about in this particular video. So of note that they are being sensible about it, and they are not they're not in this for quick money. They are actually doing things as intended, and they're utilizing the XRP to facilitate their requirements as a business, which is good, right? So the other thing on here is going to see that XRP has had a bit of a bump today, 9.9% in the last 24 hours, although it's actually pulled back a little bit. But ultimately, pretty good price kind of discovery or recovery for XRP, briefly touching or just going a little bit higher than the $1.07 yesterday. Now, obviously, we're not talking about the price action of XRP today. Instead, we're going to be talking about the price action of where we think XRP is likely to go in 2025. Now, for that journey, we have to appreciate there's two potential outcomes or two different price predictions. There's one, which is what the technical data is indicating to us right now. And then there is one price prediction, which I'll get into, which is more speculative, but would allow us to understand a few things that otherwise might be overlooked. So let's just jump over to the charts here for XRP. So the first thing we want to do is acknowledge what we are looking at for this particular bull run, because when we're talking about going into price predictions for 2025, we first of all have to assign a bit of a high point and a low point in this particular cycle, right? How high does XRP reach in the bull run of 2021, 2022? And what kind of retracement level do you think is likely to occur? So the first thing we're going to do is acknowledge where my kind of thoughts are in terms of price predictions for XRP on this this particular bull run, right? And I'm going to do this twice. This is going to be the more conservative one right now, and then I'm going to go into the next one after, so bear with me. So the first one, obviously, we have a high point up here, about $15.92, just about that $16 level approximately, right? That's the high point. And then obviously, knowing that we're likely to go up to this extension level during the bull run when we go parabolic, then ultimately we are talking about potential, retracement, right? And what does that look like? Well, we can obviously take a look at the all-time high area here, down to how low it got over here, right? And we can go ahead and actually use this potentially as a bit of a benchmark, right? So if we grab here to here, we can see that actually we lost 97% of the value, right, in XRP was lost during the bear market, right? So we lost 97%. Now, between 2017, 2018, bull run all the way through to really getting things started again in 2020, a lot went on, right? Lots of interesting fundamental shifts, changes, and all that kind of stuff, new partnerships. But all that kind of stuff will happen again during the bear market of this time around. So what we're going to do is we'll probably use a 90% retracement, okay, in the analysis to give us a bit of an idea. The lower the price drops during a bear market, the higher the price will push in the next bull run, okay? So that's how it works. If you have a pullback that's only 50%, you're not going to have a good rally in the next bull run. So you want a nice deep correction, and that will allow us to then have a nice price surge when we get into the bull run of 2025. So we are going to use 90%, and we'll use that as the low, right? So the first thing we're going to do is obviously know that we have a new high point just up here, and we're going to draw on, first of all, a 90% drop from there, right? So we're going to take that and we're going to draw this down to 90%. So it's going to be approximately this area here. Okay, so that's our retracement zone. So then what we're going to do is grab a Fibonacci retracement tool, and we'll throw this on top of this area here, and we'll paste this in. Okay, this then shows us where in 2025, how high things are likely to go. And this actually then shows us, if I just shoot this up a little bit, that this price prediction comes in here at basically $62. So what I will do is actually I'll just move that back for a second. So $62 is the first kind of price prediction. This is one that is based on the technicals and my expectations of this particular bull run. So however we perform in 2021, 2022, and with a retracement of 90% in the bear market, we could potentially then start to see a new price targets associated with XRP, $24, $39, $53, $62, right? Pretty decent price predictions based on no fundamental changes between now and then. Obviously, things are going to change. We might see XRP get clarity. We might see banks actually wanting to use this particular cryptocurrency to bridge between CBDCs. We might start seeing lots of different and new things built on the XRP ledger, right? And as a result of that, some of those fundamentals might shift, might change, and we might actually see different price discovery during this particular bull run. And this really comes down to what is going on with the SEC and the lawsuit against Ripple, because if XRP does get clarity, which is the main stumbling block really for banks and financial institutions to want to use a cryptocurrency like this, if they actually get clarity, then you can speculate that some of these banks might actually start wanting to use XRP and actually start freeing up some dormant cash that's stored in banks all around the world. And this would have a profound effect on the profitability of the banking sector. So this is a particular kind of project and technology that actually resonates incredibly well with the banking sector. Like it or not, this is what it's being created for, right? It's all about cross-border payments and all these kind of things, but there's many, many use cases. One of them would just be about freeing up the capital that is otherwise dormant in so many of these financial institutions, and that money could be utilized in much better ways, which is why you also see speculation about banks getting into DeFi and all this decentralized finance is becoming bigger and bigger. And it wouldn't surprise me if, you know, XRP Ledger with Flare networks and all these other kind of smart contract things that are getting built upon this could actually start to really be leveraged by the banking sector as well. So really mindful of that. So what would that mean if we were to actually see some of that actually occur during this bull run, right? So what happens if XRP gets a settlement, gets clarity, right? Well, we could potentially push up the price expectation for this year to a little bit higher. That would actually peak up here to about $67. And this is something we've spoken about before. So if XRP did reach to $67 this year, because everything aligns perfectly, this is a perfect scenario, this is speculation to a point, but if everything did work out incredibly well for Ripple during the lawsuit, XRP gets clarity, I think you could start to see some really significant price surges when it comes to the price of XRP. So let's talk about what that looks like, right? So $67 gets hit, 90% drop from there. That would actually then take us down to approximately, let me find this right, about here, right? So it puts it down to about $6.67 during the bear market low. Now, if we actually throw a Fibonacci retracement tool on this and we pull that down to that level there, this then actually shows us with potential for 2025 for XRP to actually reach all the way up to $262. And again, this would be under perfect scenario. It's not something that we see happening without clarity, not personally. I think you need to have clarity if you want the banking sector to actually really get behind this. And obviously with CBDCs really coming into their own and back in 2025, once we actually get that kind of launched, and CBDCs, many different banks, not just, centralized banks, but obviously you have retail banks who will also need to be utilizing this kind of technology if they want to stay competitive, if they want to be competitive against DeFi, they're going to want to get onto this. And as a result of that, I think they're going to be looking for something like XRP. It might not be XRP, but they're going to be looking for something that does what XRP does, working as a bridge asset, something that is going to be interoperable between many of these different assets. Now, Chris, myself, we've done a lot of research on XRP, a lot of research on Ripple. We know about how deep those connections go, and we have seen roadmaps and plans for many centralized banks around the world, and they do quote many of the RippleNet partners, and obviously with that comes potentially the XRP token or coin. So really want to kind of speculate to this point that although we do see, technically speaking, $62 being a realistic target for 2025, we can also say that if everything goes out incredibly well for Ripple and for XRP, we could potentially go up to this $262 range for XRP. So I really wanted to kind of just do this video to kind of give everyone a bit of an insight as to where my mind is at, what I'm thinking. Obviously XRP is my biggest position. like VeChain is to Chris. Both very strong projects in my opinion. XRP I think has so much potential for the banking sector, although is obviously commonly called the banker's coin for many reasons, but ultimately you are betting against these institutions if you do not believe that Ripple are going to be successful in what they are doing. I do think that XRP has a really strong use case. The ledger is unique in the way that it operates, and it resonates incredibly well with the banking sector. The amount of ties that the Ripple, the company, has with the banking sector, the amount of partners and things that they've actually got going on there, and the amount of people who have worked in the banking sector that are also working at Ripple now, these are things that, you know, it's really difficult to ignore. So guys, I really wanted to kind of just give you my thoughts and opinions on where I think XRP is likely to go in 2025. If you have found this video useful and informative, then do go ahead and hit that like button. I really do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, make sure you do subscribe, tap the bell, select on all notifications, and you will not miss another XRP update, guys. With this said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.